All right, we're back again with another episode of Roofer Reflections. I'm really excited to have Jonathan here. Jonathan, thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
You said retail sales was one of your earlier jobs.
I'd always known from high school that I wanted to own my own business one day. I just didn't really know how to do that. And, I did the typical path. You graduate high school, you go to college, you get your degree. Unfortunately, school just wasn't for me. I kind of came back home and started focusing more on work. And I got my old job back that I had in high school, working as a lifeguard. And I was like, I can't do this. It's not sustainable. So my dad had been in retail all my life on the wholesale side. So I thought, well, maybe I can try retail. I know it's in our blood, it's in my family. And so it was a really good training ground for me to prepare to eventually own my own business. In hindsight, at the time, I didn't realize that, but in hindsight, I realize now, wow, that was pivotal in me really learning and how to, teach and coach people, but also how to operate a business. And so I did that for about 9 years. And, retail, if you've ever worked retail, you can burn out really quickly. I resigned after about 9 years, and I didn't really know where I wanted to go, but I really wanted to focus on owning my own business. And then a buddy of mine said, "Hey man, we're starting a roofing company." Met him through church. Starting a roofing company, you want to come sell? And I'm like, I don't know anything about roofing, but I'm great at sales. So he said, yeah, come on. And I was their first guy they brought on. And come to find out, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed just not being in an office in the same place. I enjoyed meeting new people. I enjoyed working outside. I enjoyed seeing the start to finish of a build. And so their company started to gain a lot of success and started to grow. And there was just some things that didn't really do suit me well for growth, just because they had to restructure some of their commission plans, which I totally understand why now in hindsight, but at the time I was like, this doesn't really make sense for me. So I got their blessing. I stepped out and I launched my own roofing company. And first year was pretty interesting. You think you know what you're doing until you don't. And I'm out going door to door, and it's an interesting sales pitch when you're at the door and they ask you how long you've been in business. And so you can lie or you can just be honest, and which I was. And I remember my first customer, and the guy asked me, and I said 2 weeks. And he goes, "Oh, that's a problem." I said, "Yeah, you could see it as a problem, but you could also see it as an opportunity, because you're my first customer, and every customer counts, and I'm the owner, and I'm going to be on this project, and I'm going to make sure it's perfect." Here we are. We're located in Dallas, Fort Worth, and the roofing mecca of the nation, the most competitive. Over 10,000 roofing companies here, and love what I do. And it's a great industry, but it's ever evolving.
How do you sort of find the maybe balance is not the right word, but maybe the alignment between personal and work? Where as an entrepreneur, it could be all encompassing. How do you think about that?
It's sometimes hard as a business owner to shut down. And, in such a competitive industry, response time is everything. And so I think that's what has made us successful over the years, is just our communication and our promptness. I do know, if we don't have a response time, usually within that same day, and even if it's just a text or an email or a call back, hey, we received your message and we'll get back to you on Monday. But that prompt communication is what's landed us a lot of opportunities. So I am also very detail oriented, which some may call a control freak, but I'm very, very detail oriented. I'm involved in every process. So it's interesting when people will meet me and they're like, "Oh yeah, your company did our roof." And I'm like, "Oh, I know." And like, "Oh, you know?" I'm like, "Yes, every single project that we do, I review every step in it. It comes across my desk and then it goes out, because I want to make sure that our level of service is very uniform, and that every experience is the same."
For people that are looking to get involved in the industry, whether in the ownership level or just working, what sort of advice do you have for them?
If you want to go into a specific industry, I recommend that you work in that industry either as a sales rep or a technician, whatever it is, and really learn the industry first before you try to jump in and be an owner. And granted, some would disagree with me on this. They would say, well, just hire the people because you could start a roofing company and you hire great salesmen to do the things you can't do. While that could work, my issue would be in that is that the sales rep, if they had a question about something, you really couldn't answer it, and you're not really a professional in that field. And so what I would say is learn it and see if it's something that you're really passionate about. Because when you own a business, a lot of people have this misconception as a business owner. They see all the fruits of our labor. They see that maybe the nice house, maybe the nice car, the vacations, whatever it is. And they're like, wow, I want that. And there's nothing wrong with wanting that. That's great. I wanted that too when I first started. But they think that that comes with, oh, I get to make my own schedule. And you do. But the reality of it is work is kind of all the time now, because you now carry the burden and the liability of that company. And really, if you want it to be successful, you're going to have to invest a lot of time to see if that's actually something that you're willing to commit 60, 70, 80 hours a week to, potentially lose sleep over, potentially, gain or lose weight over, have some gray hairs over. But in the end, it's rewarding because it's something you're passionate and you love to do.